To edit and publish articles on a Joomla-based website, users need to have appropriate permissions. Users can have permissions ranging from only being able to submit content to having complete control over the site. In this video, we will cover the different permission levels and show how they restrict access to different parts of Joomla. Let's go to the User Manager. We created Bob Smith as a user in the system in the previous video. Let's open up his record. Currently, Bob is set as a registered user in the front end. Joomla allows you to give front-end or back-end permissions to your users. Users who are allowed to log into the back-end may also log into the front-end, but people who only have front-end access may not log into the back-end. The first level we could bump Bob up to would be author. The author user permission level would allow Bob to submit articles to the website, but they wouldn't be published, and he wouldn't be able to go back and change them. We would have to go in and approve his articles and publish them to the site. The next permission level we could select would be editor. This would allow Bob to submit articles as well as edit existing content that's on the website. He still would not be able to publish articles, but he would be able to edit them. Finally, we could make Bob a publisher in the front end. This would allow him to publish articles to the website. However, he would still not have back-end access. To give Bob back-end access, we need to give him a level of access that's within the public back-end section. First, let's talk about Super Administrator. As a Super Administrator, Bob would be able to access all of the functions available through the Joomla interface. If we instead set his access level to Administrator, he would be able to do most of the things he would be able to do as a Super Administrator, but he would not be able to add components, templates, or languages to the system. He would not be able to change the global configuration. Also, he would only have access to the global check-in and clean cache tools from the Tools menu. We could set Bob as a manager. Managers still have access to the backend of Joomla, but they are mainly restricted to data that is managed through components. They cannot create users, access the trash, or access other tools. We're going to set Bob as an administrator. This will give him a good amount of access to the website without being able to change the global configuration. Let's click Save. Let's log out and log in as Bob Smith. Bob Smith has access to many of the tools that we had as a super administrator, but now the Tools menu is shorter. He doesn't have access to the global configuration, and he can only manage modules and plugins. Assigning permissions in Joomla is easy to do. Although you cannot restrict specific users to certain sections of content, you can restrict the actions of a specific user. Users can edit and publish articles from the front end without back-end access, while super administrators can access every function Joomla has to offer.